You guys, it's day number 73 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. As you guys know, I've been getting into a very, very cold ice bath all year long. It's a little warmer here today in South Carolina, so there's not a lot of ice in there, but it is very cold. The temperature in there, 33.2 degrees Fahrenheit, so extremely cold as it always is. So welcome. Come on in, guys. Make yourselves at home. I'm about to get into the ice bath here on day number 73, and I have to tell you, yesterday's experiment, if you missed yesterday morning, day 72's update, I got out here in the middle of my yard yesterday. It was not sunny. It was nice and overcast, and it was super cold. It was like 24 degrees Fahrenheit. And I wore nothing but just my swimming trunks. That's all I had on. And I stood out there for 30 minutes in 24 degree Fahrenheit temperature water. And then I came into the ice bath and did that for 3.5 minutes. And then a couple hours later, I went back out again. It was still 33 degrees Fahrenheit. And I did a 75-minute walk. So I want to talk about what happened after I did all that cold therapy. What happened to my body? Because something really incredible happened that I want to share about once I'm in there. So let me set you guys down, tilt you down so you can see everything. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And yeah, let's get this situated. There we go. All right, guys, as always, putting 5 minutes on the clock. 5 minutes, and here we go. Oh, I see it building ice on the bottom, so I need to be real careful there. Glare on my clock, I can barely see it today. All right, you guys, so yesterday, as I was saying, I did quite the experiment. I stood out in 24 degree cold air. I did that for 30 minutes. Then I got into this ice bath, which was 32 degrees Fahrenheit. I did that for 3.5 minutes. Partly the reason I didn't stay in very long was my hands and my feet were so numb and hurting so bad I just had to get out. Then a couple hours later I went on the trail and I did my walk and talk yesterday. And I got back from the walk and talk and suddenly I got very, very sleepy. And I was like, what in the world is going on? I had a Zoom call with Steak and Butter Gal at 2 o'clock, but as soon as that was over at 3 o'clock, I felt so heavy. My eyelids, I could barely keep open. I was dead tired. And so the thing that I want to share today that was shocking was I went to sleep at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, started laying down, and then I got to sleep maybe around 4:30, I actually fell asleep. And then I woke up at like 9:45, stayed up for a few hours, several hours actually, like 4 or 5 hours, and then went back to sleep at about 3 o'clock and then slept to 6 o'clock. So my total sleep was like 7 hours. My REM was 2 hours, 15 minutes. Deep was 2 hours, 15 minutes. So it ended up being really good sleep. But isn't that fascinating? One of my concerns about doing these ice baths outside of the afternoon period is, would I get sleepy? Now, was it the cold therapy? Was it the dose of the cold therapy? I don't know. I mean, yesterday was probably the most intense cold therapy I've done so far, exposing myself to the elements, and then getting in here and then going back out into the elements again. So this is why I like doing them in the afternoon, because I do get incredibly sleepy after doing an ice bath. And that's been my concern about doing them earlier in the day. I would prefer to do them at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And now that the sun has shifted, by the way, because this is like an hour earlier, the sun doesn't go down till 7:30. Usually it's been going down about 6:30, 6:45. So it will be interesting to see with the daylight savings time how my body adjusts with the sleepiness and everything. But that was fascinating to me that I got so sleepy. I ended up going to bed at an obscenely early time. And but for going to bed that early, my sleep score would have been in the 90s, because it penalized me greatly for going to bed so early. All right, looks like I got about 30-something seconds left. We're going to go ahead and dip the head under. Whew. I love going under, because when you're hot, that is so refreshing. And that's going to be really nice during the summer. Woo! Oh, yay. Yeah, it's a whole lot warmer today. You guys see all that ice in the Morozko has melted. It's still very cold, but no visible ice hardly in there. But yeah, 24 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday, and I want to say it's like 78 degrees today. So yes, welcome to the South. When you live in the South, it could be snowstorm one day and a heat wave the next day. So that's how we roll here in the South. But yeah, isn't that interesting that part of my reticence to doing an ice bath earlier than 5 o'clock in the afternoon is for exactly what happened yesterday. I don't like getting sleepy at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I would prefer to stay up and kind of go to bed at a normal hour, and then, yeah, do all I do. I mean, it worked out because I work for myself. I can always get work done. I ended up talking to a friend when I got up at 9:45, and we talked for a couple of hours, and yeah, so it works out. But it's fascinating how my theory that my body gets sleepy after having an ice bath. Maybe it wasn't immediate because I did it at 8 o'clock in the morning with the cold exposure and then the ice bath and then more cold exposure. I could have overexposed myself to cold yesterday, and I suppose there is such a thing as overdoing it when it comes to this cold therapy. There is. I mean, the dose matters. And so, but I'm also pushing myself in various ways to kind of see what I'm tolerating. So I was okay with what I did, but some of the ramifications of that was you're going to be sleepy at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I was completely out. Yeah, that was a trip. I don't mind going to bed while the sun's still up. I don't mind going to sleep, and especially if my body's like really heavy and really sleepy. I don't fight that. I go lay down, but it's extremely odd. Then you guys, listen to this. Then during the time that I was awake, I was sitting there testing my temperature just all on the way. I'm just checking things here and there. And I popped in the middle of me being awake. Let's see, I woke up at like 9:45. At around 2 a.m., I tested my temperature, 99.9 degrees Fahrenheit. What was my body doing? Now, it was very cold in here. I had turned off all the heaters, and it was cold outside, so it was really cold. And 99.9 degrees Fahrenheit. I was like, that's warm. and I'm not sick. So the body is definitely trying to figure out what I'm doing with this cold. And I'm going to keep observing. What's interesting is I bounced it to the morning yesterday. So the body is probably kind of going, wait a minute, we do this at 5 o'clock. Why are you doing it in the morning? It's incredible to kind of watch everything happen. All right, let's scroll back to the top. Leo, Texas Livingston, Lugene, Doak, Linda, Sam, Marty. Thank you all for being here. CMA is here. Dan, Vicky, Sharon, Prague Queen. Sharon says, wowzer, here we go. Yes, yes. Peter's here. Cavaliers of My Heart. 128's here. Errolson, Heart and Soul. Parkman's here. Heart and Soul said, did the temperature go up again today? You talking about prior to getting in? Right at about an hour ago, it was, what was it, 99.1 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's just take a peek at what it's doing right this moment. Here we are 5 minutes out of the ice bath. We're going to see what it's doing at the moment. All right, it's actually down, which is predictable, 98 degrees. I'm a boy band, 98 degrees, because I was just in the cold. So that's pretty predictable that it would be down right now. David's here. A. McKinnis is here. Matthew. David said, a waste of time. I did it for months. It was just a big waste of time for me. Tell me more about that, David. What do you mean a waste of time? Doing cold therapy was a waste of time? What happened? Tell me your experience. I would love to have an interaction with you about that. So, yeah, let me know. Marbrand is here. Gabby's here. David said, I didn't notice any health benefits for myself. So I would ask you, how do you quantify the health benefits? Are you saying you had no mental health changes? Are you saying that you didn't feel like your mood stabilized? Are you saying that you didn't have maybe testing blood work and see if your inflammation markers had gone down? Like, how did you quantify that you had no health benefits? I'd be really fascinated, because this is interesting to me, because as I try to quantify what this is doing for me, and I'm doing it every day, 5 minutes a day, 32 degrees. So very prescriptiveness with what I'm doing on a daily basis. I would love to know what your protocol was. How long did you expose yourself to the cold? How cold was it? What, was it an ice bath? Was it a cold shower? Let's have a chat. Alberto is here. Have I noticed any health benefits? Yes. For me, it's been more the mental health benefits. And I've talked about this quite a bit in these ice bath videos, that more than anything, yes, I have fat that I need to lose. Yes, I have probably inflammation that needs to lower. And of course, you're always going to get a blood sugar lowering effect. You're going to get a blood pressure lowering effect. You're going to get so many mechanisms in the body that helps with some of the hormones, like testosterone in guys, estradiol in women. There's just so many things. And it's also a de-stressor for me. Of course, it is a stressor while you're in there, but when you come out, it's that coming out and the warming up period, which is happening right now for me, where I start to feel kind of a de-stressing effect on me. But the mental health benefits more than anything. And then just knowing that I'm doing something very, very hard and I'm doing it. There's something about the mental resilience that gets born out of that. So those are the benefits that I've seen so far. And they're big for me. I consider those really huge effects. Amanda's here. Chris is here. Parkman says, coming in, you guys. Yes, that's not what I say. Come on in, you guys. Is that what you're trying to say, Parkman? Mary's here. Parkman says, Jimmy is much faster after ice baths. You talking about talking faster? Coming in, you guys. Yes. But guys, here in day 73, all systems good. Yesterday was a trip. I'm glad I did that experiment. I never shivered one single time. I was in 24-degree air and I was not cold. Other than my hands got very, very numb, my feet got very, very numb, I was not cold to the point of shivering. And that's incredible to me. And of course, some people are like, well, something's wrong if you're not shivering. I'm like, not if you're adapted. Doesn't it matter if you're adapted to the cold? Yeah, I think it does. And now that I've done this 73 days in a row of 5 minutes a day in an ice bath, yeah, I am going to keep an eye on the temperature thing because this is really, it's really fascinating to me. I think my body is trying to figure out what to do with this cold exposure every day. And I'm doing it for a pretty long time. I know a lot of people in the cold therapy world, oh, you don't need to do very long, maybe 1 to 2 minutes. And for me, if I'm going to go in for 1 to 2 minutes, I want to go a little longer because 1 to 2 is about the time it takes for me to like calm down in there. Once I'm able to be calm in my mind, then I'm pretty relaxed. Then I feel like I'm getting the benefits. It's kind of like the people that say, oh, I want to fast for 48 hours. I'm like, 48 hours, you're just getting to the good part. You're getting past the hardest part. Now you get to enjoy it a little longer. So do more than 48. Glory to I Am is here. Hello, hello. Gabby says, hi, Jimmy. Some people can't see results, but in my experience as a health coach, these people have the SAD. I want to say it is a reason. Sorry, in my writing, I have no glasses. Yeah. I hate it when people say, well, I didn't see any results, because usually, and I'm not saying this was the case of this other gentleman, but usually what they mean by I didn't see any results was I didn't lose weight. And this is not a weight loss journey for me. I mean, if I lose weight, great. But more than anything, it's just an observational study of myself. I just want to see what happens. Like the whole temperature thing that I've been doing. I wasn't planning on doing that. It's just something that I started to quantify and noticed. And I'm just sharing that. And so for me, having no expectations on it and just doing it for a period of time to experience it. I mean, he said he did it for several months. So that's great. I mean, if he did it for several months and there was no benefits, I would like to dig deeper on that. I didn't really get much from him. If you're still here, dude, let me know what you're talking about how did you quantify the results. But you're right. Some people can't see results. But that's because they haven't dialed in other parts of their life. Yeah, because you can do all the ice baths in the world, but if your diet's not right or you're not doing complementary biohacks with it, you guys know I'm a biohacking nerd. I do all kinds of stuff all the time. And I think that helps. I think they're complementary for one another. Setting your goals on things that are doable, that are quantifiable, and even the intangibles, the things that I just feel great. Like, that's an intangible. You can't really quantify how you feel great. You just kind of go, hey, I feel great. Or, I don't feel so good. Yeah, so that's how I'm doing it. Parkman says, day 6, though, will go down in infamy with your ice bath. Yes, that's the day I cut my toes. Completely healed, by the way. I'm looking down at them now. And I'm rubbing my fingers over where the scars would have been, but there's no scars. It's all healed up. So, good stuff, good stuff. Cammie's here. Bella's here. Rosie's here. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I'm going to keep at this challenge. I've got lots of ideas coming up for things I want to tinker with and try. But for now, just going to keep at it. Be consistent. That's the biggest thing. People, it's so boring getting an ice bath every day. I'm like, well, it could be if you tell yourself it's boring. Or, hey, this is a healthy habit. Is it boring to brush your teeth every day? Is it boring to make your bed every day? Is it boring? Think about the things you do and you don't even think about it. Make an ice bath, make cold showers, make something like that normal. And it's not a big deal. It's so easy. It just becomes what's called autonomic. It's just going to happen automatically. So those of you watching this on the replay on YouTube or even here on Instagram, go follow me, or on Facebook. Go follow me over on Instagram at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. And we do go live generally around 5 p.m. Eastern time every single day. And follow me there in case I go live early like I did yesterday. There will be 1 month where I will bounce the time around every single day for the entire month. Not sure which month I'll do that in, but when the time comes, you will know. But go follow me, you guys. Thanks so much for following me here today on day 73, and I'll be back again real soon. Bye, guys.